Most business owners know that having online reviews is an absolute must. And so they put a lot of time and effort into generating those online reviews. But most of them, if not 99% of them, are using these online reviews completely wrong. My name is Amber Jones, and welcome to a day in the life of workflow automation and AI, where I help business owners to streamline their workflows so that they can be more efficient, generate more leads, or leverage more time. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can leverage your online reviews to automate and 5x your lead flow in 2025. So let's hop right in. So by the end of this video, I'm going to actually walk through this process. I'm going to build it out live so that you can copy and paste and use this for yourself as well, totally free of charge, okay? Now, before we hop into that, let's talk about online reviews, okay? To kind of reiterate the importance of online reviews. So this is just a quick factoid or whatever you want to call this, but it's from Social Pilot, right? And it was saying that 69% of consumers feel good about a business after they see positive reviews online. Not only that, but the customers you attract that actually use online reviews. Look here, customers will spend an average of 31% more in a business that has excellent online reviews. So there's a lot of stats here. I'm not going to go through that, but here's the fact of the matter. These stats actually prove that, number one, online reviews will help you generate customers and leads, and it'll help you convert higher quality customers, okay? So here's the problem. All right. So most business owners know, hold on just a second. Let me zoom out here just a second. So most business owners know 100% that they need online reviews. Okay. They need online reviews, but very few actually that is an ugly thing. Very few actually leverage to its fullest potential. So what do I mean? Business owners will invest in softwares and automations and follow-ups, which is awesome, to help generate these reviews, these online reviews. But most business owners, what they do is they will get the online review, right? And then they'll just share directly that online review to like Facebook or whatever, right? And that's it. And that's awesome, right? Don't laugh my drawing. But again, by the end of this video, I'm actually going to show you how to get 5 times more exposure to help generate those leads and higher conversions for you. Okay? And so this is what we know about online reviews, right? They're going to help you to generate more leads. They're going to help you with the conversion of the leads flow. Okay? So if you already have traffic coming, most customers, they're going to be nosy. They're going to click around, right? We need to give customers and prospective leads, we need to give them stuff to be nosy about, right? We want them to be nosy about us. And so those online reviews are great. And so it's going to help your conversion go up. So if you already have some lead flow, you're going to have a higher conversion rate without competing on pricing, right? Because they're going to see the value, they're going to see and be reiterated by those online reviews. But you can also use these online reviews the way that we're going to show you to help you stay top of mind with your current customers, right? Because it's easier to get a previous customer to purchase from you again than it is to get a new customer to purchase from you for the first time. So we're going to leverage your online reviews to help with both those things, both converting your leads that have not purchased, helping those convert to purchases, but also to stay top of mind and create yourself as an authority figure with your current leads so that they'll come back to you again. Okay, and so here is the process that we are going to do here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get this online review and we're going to leverage automation and AI. My lines are so ugly, y'all. We're going to create an email. We're going to create a Facebook post. We're going to create a LinkedIn post. We're going to create a blog article, and you can actually 5x, 6x, 10x your exposure for however you want to distribute the content. But here's the key. Yes, we are going to use automation and we are going to use ChatGPT, but it's going to be incredibly warm and human-like. It's not going to be like your spit out garbled ChatGPT, emoji filled, like the horribleness that just reeks, I used ChatGPT, right? Like, it's not going to be like that. So let me actually dive into the process. I'm going to show you the flow, my thought process behind me building this. Now, I built this out previously for a client, and I'm gonna build it from scratch so that you guys can see what we're doing, okay? So the full first rule of making automations is right here. Before making any automations, guys, this is so horrible. I'm using my fingers. Sorry about that. But before making any automations, you want to do the process manually first. It's so super important that you know how to do the process manually to get the desired output that you want. Because when you use the automation and especially AI, if you don't have the manual process down first, you're just going to expedite or multiply errors, right? And it's going to be a bigger issue. So we're going to do this manually, and then we're going to semi-automate the process. And then I might do another video that could potentially fully automate the process. I don't want to get too advanced. I want this video to be something that you can take and actually implement. Okay, so let's actually hop right in through like the process of the thought pattern. Okay, so here's what you need. Okay, what you'll need, and hopefully you don't hear me. So for the manual process, what you'll need is we're going to be using your online reviews. Okay, the second thing that you'll need is like a Google Sheet. I like to use Google Sheet. Third thing that you're going to use, I like to use Claude. I'm going to say or ChatGPT. I like using Claude because we're going to use Claude to help us write. And so I like the way that Claude writes a little bit better. And then we're going to use my special prompt. Okay. And so we're going to actually dive right into doing that. So let me actually pause the video, and I'm going to show you a tool to get your online reviews, especially if you're a company that has hundreds and hundreds of online reviews. Guys, you can create hundreds and hundreds of pieces of content using this. Excuse me. And so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to get online reviews very, very quickly and very, very easily without having to do this manually. I'm going to use a tool called Apify, and I'll show you how to use that. And you can use it for free. It's not going to cost you anything. And then eventually, when we get to the part where we automate this, okay, we're going to use a low-code tool. Now, you could probably do this in Zapier. You're probably familiar with that, or make.com, but I'm going to use a low-code tool called N8N because I'll do another video, but I'm going to use N8N, okay? So let's hop right in. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is we need to get your online reviews, and we're going to sign up for a tool called Apify. This is essentially, it's a tool to help you scrape a lot of different things. Please don't let this verbiage or jargon scare you because I'm going to walk you through step by step. So you want to sign up for a free Apify account. And what we're going to do is we're going to get your online reviews, and we're going to put them in an easy to use like Google Sheet, okay? So like in this example, and I'm going to pull like a random business here. So I'm just going to pull like window cleaning. And so let's say you're one of these ones that has, let's try this one. Okay. It has 303 online reviews. And so what you're going to do is we want to get a spreadsheet or a Google Sheet of all of your online reviews. That's going to be really hard to do and really hard to go through. So what we're going to do is you sign up for Apify. And then when you're inside of your Apify, you're going to click over here to go to Apify Store. And we're just going to type in online Google reviews, actually. And I believe this is the one I used. Let me double check really quick. The one, yep, Google Maps Reviews Scraper. So let's go back to the store. We'll type in Google Reviews. And it's this one here, Google Maps Reviews Scraper. And essentially what you do is you simply plug in a Google Maps URL, and it's going to scrape all of those. And so the way Apify works is it gives you $5 worth of credit to use like every month for free. And then it's like $50 a month, but you don't have to upgrade. As long as you use less than $5 worth, you can continue to use this for free. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape, and look, this one charges 50 cents for every 1,000 reviews. So in this instance, right, like this company has only has 300 reviews, so we're good. So I'm going to copy this URL, And then I'm going to go to Apify and I'm going to plug it in. And I'm going to say that I want to scrape, like if you wanted to, you could scrape all 300. And this, let's just scrape 20. We can sort the reviews by newest, most relevant, or highest ranking. So of course you probably want to use the most highest ranking, right? Or it could be the most recent. We don't want to overthink it. So I'm just going to click run. And so behind the scenes, what it's doing is it's going to scrape 20 reviews from this URL here, from this actual Painless Home Services, okay? So we're going to let that run, and you can see that it's already done. It literally only took a few seconds and didn't cost me, it only cost me 1 cent, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to export this as a CSV file. So I'm going to click download, okay? And the next thing I'm going to do is we need to get this into a Google Sheet. So let me pause this and create like a quick Google Sheet because I forgot to open it up. Give me just a second. Okay, so I've got my blank Google Sheet here. You can just keep it blank. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to File and Import. I'm going to upload, browse file, and I'm going to just import the file that I just downloaded from Apify. I'm going to insert, let's just replace the sheet. Replace the current sheet. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and import that data there. And so now we've gotten 20 leads. And what I like to do, this is just me, y'all. I like to always bold, highlight the first row, and then I like to freeze the first row. That just makes things super easy, especially if you're dealing with a spreadsheet that has like hundreds and hundreds of like rows. Okay, so what we're gonna do is if you scroll over, it'll tell you all the information here, okay? So it'll tell you the categories, the address. You don't really need that. If there is a image URL, this is what we like to use here, right? It's got the name of the person of that left the review. It'll tell you how long ago the review is posted. This is the response to the review, so that's like the company has responded. So if you're doing this for your own company, right, this will be the response that you gave back to the online review. But if you keep scrolling, you will be able to see the star rating of the review. And then this is the review itself where it says text. Okay, so these are really detailed reviews. That's awesome. So what you want to look for is a really detailed review. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to go to Claude and let me do a new chat. And I actually have a special prompt that we're going to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this online review. If you remember, we're going to turn this online review into email, Facebook post, LinkedIn post. But we're going to do all of this stuff, right? But here's the trick, okay? We're going to do two little key things in our prompt. Number one, we're going to have it have a conversational tone as if they're talking to like a good friend. So that's number one. But number two, we're going to do it in storytelling style, okay? Stories help show the transformation from start to finish, and stories actually help create the fans, and it helps move people to actually take action, okay? So I'm going to pause really quickly again so that I can go ahead and get my prompt. So give me just a second. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and paste this prompt into just a Google Sheet here, and let me do online review prompt, okay? So that way we'll make this available inside of our community if you join our community, so you can just copy and paste this. All right, and so what we are doing here is where this is going to be the prompt. You are a marketer for a local company called company name. Your job is to use story selling to write follow-up email, a Facebook post, a LinkedIn post, and video bullet points. Use like words only. So if you wanted to create a video, you could even create a video for this. I'll give you some content from online reviews, and the goal is to tell a story, tell it in a story-like manner, and if possible, to leverage content to handle possible objections that the avatar may have. Do not make anything up. This is very important to use, especially when you're telling AI to write like in storytelling. Tell it not to make anything up though. Let's see what you come up with. The tone should be casual or like making recommendations to the friend with a slight tone like Wonder Years style. I don't know if you guys ever watched Wonder Years, but that is a very narrative storytelling style. Don't be overly salesy and don't use a ton of emojis. I gave an example And that's what we're going to use, okay? So I'm going to take this post or this prompt and I'm going to paste it here. And so what we're going to do, oops, I did not mean to hit enter. Hold on just a second. Let me pause it. I do that all the time. So what we're going to do is where it says, here's the info to use. And let's just, okay. So let's also, let's do a also write a prompt to create an image to go along with this as well. Okay. And so then what we're going to do, like we've given it the template, but we need to plug in one of these reviews. So let us see. I'm just going to pick one, right? So what's this one? After being referred. And so again, guys, I'm doing this live. So I literally just copy the whole row. I'm going to go back to Claude and I'm going to paste it. And let's see what happens. So this is the process that I was showing you, but I said, hey, let's learn how to do it manually first, okay? All right, so let's see what it's coming up with here, okay? So the email subject line, when your cats meet clean carpets, a Dallas home transformation story, all right? And so here's the style of, now this is a longer style email, okay? If you want to, you can tweak this or whatever, but remember, this is storytelling, okay? Remember those days when your mom would say, take your shoes off before coming inside? And you wonder why she was so particular about the floors? Well, I had an encounter recently that brought all of those memories rushing back. You know what? Before we read this, let me go ahead and actually read the online review. So this is what the online review did. It said, after being referred by a neighbor, I called Painless to get an estimate for cleaning our carpets, tiles, and windows. Albert gave me a reasonably priced quote and addressed all my concerns. He assured me he'd be able to do the work discussed, and he did. Our floors look much better since we have 3 cats, and the house even smells fresh. Albert is very professional and easy to work with. I'll definitely give them a call when I need work done, since they provide a variety of services. Okay, so now it makes more sense why it wrote about cats. Okay, all right. And so let's keep running. So last month we helped Cheryl. So last month, right? So last month, let's go see when was this written. Because it showed, it was 7 months ago. Okay, well, that's okay. So it may have embellished on the timing of it. Okay, so last month we helped Cheryl, a neighbor in our Dallas community who was dealing with a common challenge that many of us face, keeping a home with furry friends around. With 3 cats roaming our house, you can imagine the situation. What struck me most wasn't how her carpets and tile looked after the cleaning, though I have to say the transformation was impressive. It was something she said that really resonated me. Albert assured me that we'd be able to do the work he discussed, and he did. And so it literally quoted her part of her review. Sometimes the most meaningful compliment isn't about the results, but about keeping our promises. How often do we hear someone say that they'll do something only to be left disappointed? This got me thinking about how many of our homeowners often give up on certain cleaning services because of past letdowns. Did you know? And then it dropped some facts. And Cheryl mentioned, so I'm not going to read through this, but this is, you can see like this is really, really good email. Like it's story, it's a flow. And so then here's a Facebook post, right? Ever notice how most meaningful compliments aren't about the end results, but about keeping promises? When Cheryl called us for cleaning her carpets, tile, and windows, she was skeptical. 3 cats and years of wear had her wondering if her floors could really look good again. Albert from our team promised he could handle it, and he delivered. Now her house not only looks better, but even smells fresh. It's these moments that remind us why we do what we do at Painless Home Services. Got pets? Don't give up on your floors. We've got solutions for you, actually. Okay, so these are really, really good. And you've even got like a blog article that we wrote out here. Okay, and then here's an image prompt. So what we have done, let me like really quickly review what we've done here, like and how we did this manually. Okay, so we've taken one online review, created a moving and touching email post, email, Facebook, LinkedIn, blog article. And now what if you're like, man, I need an image. Oh my gosh, right? So this is now, I will gladly say that I'm not that good with images right now, right? So I'm going to go to ChatGPT and let's see, let's go back to ChatGPT. Oops, I don't know, did I break it? So let's go to Sora and I want to describe my image. So I'm going to paste. Remember guys, I just copied and pasted this. And so I'm going to do an image and this is going to be for Facebook. So I'm going to add it to the queue and I'm going to let this work on the image. So if you stop this video right here and there, right here and now, you now have the ability to, even if you did this manually, I'm 13 minutes into this video and I'm talking a bunch, right? You see how easily we just created all this content in just a few minutes? Like usually writing emails takes hours of time. You got to know copywriting. The only thing I would add different is like, can we add a call to action to get a quote? And then what I'll do is let's go to these guys' website. Where's the website? Overview. And sorry, Painless Home Services, if you get a bunch of web traffic, you're welcome. But let's see, how do you get a quote from these guys? Contact us, I guess. Okay, so there we go. So that would be the only thing I would change, is to make sure that you have a call to action. And so what that'll do is it'll go ahead and update. So just this portion of the video in itself, in 15 minutes, you know now manually how you can create and 5x your exposure. All you have to do is copy and paste. Copy and paste, copy and paste. Send, add this to your email account. Schedule this as a Facebook post. Put it on LinkedIn, all of the things, right? We just did that here. So I'm going to take this a step further and I might separate this into another video. I'm not sure. But now let's take this process. Now that we know, let's see, we've done this manually, right? So we've done this manually. So the next thing to do is to see, can we semi-automate the process? And the reason why I say semi-automate is because you don't want to go from 0 to 100. We want to just see if we can replicate this same process by automating it. So I will see you guys. Give me just a second and let's see what we can do. I'll hop over to one of the no code or low code tools that I use, and we'll see what we can get done with this. All right, so now let's hop into the next steps of actually seeing what it looks like to semi-automate this process. And actually, I forgot to show you guys, this was the image that it actually generated for like a social media post. So that's really stinking good. Okay, so now I am using a tool called N8N. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually, full transparency, I am used to using Zapier and Make.com. I recently moved over to N8N. I like the ability of what it's able to do a lot better. It's also more cost effective, and it will save you money, and you can even use it for free if you have self-hosting. And so I'm all about all those things, right? So here's what we're going to do. If we look at our process, before we actually even map that out, I probably should map out the process of what that actually looks like. Like, what did we just do? Okay. So the first step, oopsie daisy. The first step that we did was get online reviews. Okay. And then the next thing we did, after we got the online reviews, I'm going to put it left to right because that's how it's built out. Okay, so after we get the online reviews, then we're going to get one review. Oh, then we put them in a spreadsheet. Sorry, guys. Put it in Google Sheet. And then from there, I need to change this to white. After we put it in a sheet, we picked one online review. And then we plugged it into where you plug into Claude. And then I want the output actually, oops, Daisy. What I want to do is oh my gosh, guys. I don't know why it's not like selecting everything. There we go. All right. And what I want is to plug the, plug into Google Sheet, all right? We want the results to go back to a Google Sheet. So that's what our goal is to be, okay? So we're gonna get the online reviews, we're gonna put them in a Google Sheet, we're gonna get one online review, we're gonna plug it into Claude, and then plug it back into a Google Sheet. Okay, so the way I see this starting out, because it is semi-manual at first, is we are gonna use a web form. Web form. Oh, let me just type in form. N8N form. This is one of the reasons why I like the web forms, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually create a form. Let's title this online review 5X for right now, okay? And so we're gonna add, so now we're gonna add some fields, okay? So I don't know if you remember, but we copy and pasted when we went to, oh man, did I close it out accidentally? The Google Sheet, there it is. So we just copy pasted this row, right, of Google content, of our Google review. So what I'm gonna do is, let's just say online review content. And it is going to be text. Let's do a text area. And then we should put company name. Because this is the stuff we need to update with, right? So services offered. We might not even need that one. We'll see. And we'll say call to action. Right? So let's say the call to action is to get a quote. And we are going to go back and copy that URL. There we go. Okay. And so now what it'll give you is it'll give you two links. One is a test link. The other is a production link. We're going to copy the test link. So now it'll give you this really simple form. Let me actually turn the trigger on if I test the step. There you go. So this will be the form that we fill out. Okay. So we just copy and paste that. So that's going to be the trigger. Okay. So if you're not familiar with workflows and things, hold on, I have to move this out of the way. So we're going to stop listening. So this is going to be the trigger. This is what's going to start the domino effect. We're going to plug that in and we want, let's see. We want a chat agent. And we're going to add that chat. No, we don't need a chat agent. We are going to use, I think it's Anthropic chat model. That's not the one we want to use either. Oh, there it is. Yeah. We're going to use Anthropic, okay? So let me just reorganize this so that it's nice and pretty. Okay. And I'm already plugged in. So I've already plugged in my Claude account. You need to go and create an API key or get your API key. So I've already done that. And this is right here is where we are going to, we're going to go and we need to plug in the prompt, right? And so we're going to add the prompt and the system prompt. So let's go back here. And we'll go back to the beginning of the prompt. Copy this. And we'll go back to N8N. So for the system prompt, we're going to type this. And then we are going to do user. And we're going to go back and paste this prompt, part of the prompt. And we're not going to paste this part, okay? Because this is the actual online review. We're not going to paste that part. What we're going to do, let's open this up. Okay. So let me save what I've done. And so I'm going to do a test submission. It's going to open up the web form. Okay. So let me get another row. I'm just going to pick one randomly. Let's just copy that one. Okay. Let me stop because I forgot which link I was using. There we go. So we're going to test the workflow. We're going to paste that online content here. Company name. I forgot the company name. It is Painless Home Services. So we're going to type in Painless Home Services. Services offered. I don't think we really need that. And then we'll say get a quote. And that's the call to action. Okay. All right, so what's going to happen is it's testing this right now. So we're going to click submit. And so you'll see if I click here, it shows me in the output, it shows me like what I put in. And so then it's going to come in here and we need to say, let's see here. Okay, so we're going to switch this to say define below. And so this is saying, hey, like, where am I getting this information from, right? So let me go here. I'm going to go to the end of this. Let me just do this really quick. So I'm going to... You know what, guys? I messed up. All right. And so this is why I want to show you like the raw, like this is what it actually looks like. Okay. So let's see what happens if we come down here and I just want to copy just that part. There we go. Okay. So we're going to put in our prompt here. And then I'm going to say user, I'm going to say, here's the info. And then I'm going to drag in the online review content. And let's test this step. So it's actually executing the workflow right now. And we're going to see what output it gets. Now keep in mind, it's actually writing out quite a bit of content. So this might take a little bit of time. So let's go ahead and pause it. Okay, so it just actually finished as soon after I paused it. Okay, so look, so this is the output. Here's the email subject line. Okay, there's all the things. And so next, let's see if we can add the Google Sheets. And we are going to append or update a row. So let's go to our Google Sheet here and we're going to add another column that says, let's just rename that to 5x output online reviews or something like that, right? So here you want the company name. Well, we don't need the company. If you're doing this for yourself, you don't need the company name. And then online review. And then just put content, right? Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I need to make sure that I am connected. Let's see here. Untitled spreadsheet, that's the one I just had. And then we're going to use the 5x reviews. And then this is going to be the text content. So if I were to test that step, It looks like we got an error here. The column to match on parameter is required. Oh, column to match. There we go. Content. There we go. And we'll test step. All right, and if we test the step, it just completed. We go back here and there you go. So here's your email subject line. Let me move this so that it's easier to use. And again, if we follow I'm a little weird about this, guys. And we're gonna freeze it, one row. So there you go. So we could say 5x online reviews. Let's just name it that, right? But now you see, okay, email subject line, why Gentle Care makes a difference in home renovations, right? So can you see how this type of content, if you generated that lead, this now positions you as an authority, right? And we could have actually went in and plugged in, your name at the company name. But there it is. And so now we could just automate this. So imagine if you had a VA or if you had to do this yourself. This is semi-automated, okay? This is semi-automated. But what we could do is we could even make this, actually happen as new online reviews come in. So all we'd have to do is find a trigger that says like Google, I believe it was Google Business Profile. And you can do a trigger on review added, right? And so what that means is, hey, you can use this same workflow to trigger this manually, but you can also turn it on autopilot. So every time you get an online review, it'll actually go through this process and spit it out on a spreadsheet. If you wanted to email yourself, you could send an email to yourself, right? To say, hey, you've had a new online review, go put this here. But now guys can see a little bit of the process of how you can take one workflow that we kind of just created from an idea. We said, hey, we have a bunch of online reviews. I need to use this. I need to make content. We took one idea, we created a manual workflow, and now we've created a semi-automated workflow. Once this workflow goes through, a lot of times, and you are comfortable with this content, you could definitely set up automatic posting of this, where you can automatically, if you have MailChimp, there's a way you can automatically send an email to MailChimp. You can automatically post to Facebook, automatically post to LinkedIn. But before we dive into that portion of it, again, what you want to do is do it manually and then semi-automate this. But guys, look how easy this is. You do this for 10, let's just say 10 reviews. Guys, we got 20 reviews. Just copy and paste it 20 times. Give this to a virtual assistant and say, hey, go paste this for me, right? So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I do plan on doing a lot more of videos just like this. Let me go back here really quick. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video of how to leverage and use your online reviews to 5x your lead flow and 5x your exposure in 2025. Please like and subscribe to this channel. Please feel free to join our community. If you want the actual templates to what we used, if you want the actual prompt that I use, you can use this manually or you can automate this. But that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much. Be sure to comment below if you have any questions or if you want this implemented for yourself. We can actually create this workflow for you. So until next time, take care.